I still remember the rain that day, sharp, cold, cutting through my black suit like a knife. My grandfather's casket was lowered into the ground, and the family circled it with rehearsed grief. My father's tears looked forced, his sobs exaggerated. But when the priest's voice faded and the last clump of dirt hit the coffin, I saw it, the flicker in his eyes. Not sorrow, triumph. Hours later, he showed his true hand. We were barely home when he summoned me into his study. His voice was cold, stripped of any pretense. "You're useless now," he said, tossing an envelope across the desk. "Pack your things. You're out." My breath caught. "What are you talking about?" He leaned back, smug. "The estate is mine. All 56 million. I don't need a disappointment like you clinging to me anymore." That was it. No hesitation, no second thought. The man I had spent years trying to impress, every achievement, every sacrifice, dismissed me like trash the moment money touched his hands. I walked out without a word, not because I was weak, but because I already knew something he didn't. My grandfather had trusted me. He once told me, "Money doesn't reveal character, it strips away the mask." And he was right. My father's mask had cracked wide open. The night before the funeral, grandfather's lawyer, Mr. Allen, had pulled me aside. He slid me a sealed copy of the will. "Your father hasn't seen this yet," he whispered. "Read it carefully, and don't react until the time is right." When I read it, I nearly laughed. My grandfather's brilliance was alive in every clause. Yes, my father inherited the fortune, but only under one condition. He had to take care of me, house me, and provide for me as long as I lived. If he failed, even once, the entire inheritance defaulted to me. My father hadn't read past the numbers. His greed blinded him. He saw 56 million and nothing else. So when he threw me out, he signed his own death sentence. I didn't storm back into his office. I didn't beg. I played the role of the discarded child. I packed a single bag, left quietly, and let him believe he'd won. Because the sweetest revenge isn't loud, it's silent. The next morning, I sat in the lawyer's office as Mr. Allen placed the will on his desk. My father strutted in, grinning, bragging about how he'd finally cut the leech loose. He didn't notice the way Allen's lips curved into a restrained smile. "Mr. Reynolds," Allen said evenly, "did you even read the will?" My father frowned. "Of course I did." Allen chuckled, low and deliberate. "Then you must have skipped the condition." He slid the paper across the desk, tapping the paragraph in bold. My father's eyes followed the words, and with each line, his face drained of color. "If you fail to provide housing, support, and protection for my grandson, the entire estate transfers to him immediately." Silence. Then his voice cracked. "That's not possible! I threw him out!" "Yes," Allen said, calm as a blade. "You did. Yesterday. It's documented, witnessed. He's already filed a statement." My father turned to me, eyes wild. For the first time in my life, I saw fear in him. Real, naked fear. "You planned this," he hissed. "No," I said quietly. "You did. Grandfather knew exactly what kind of man you were. He left the rope. You hung yourself." The fallout was brutal. Within 24 hours, every account, every property, every car shifted to my name. My father's reign ended before it began. Reporters swarmed when word leaked. The mighty patriarch who inherited millions only to lose it all to his useless son. The humiliation cut deeper than the financial ruin. I didn't need to lift a finger. He destroyed himself with his arrogance. Now, weeks later, I sit in my grandfather's chair, in the same study my father once lorded over me. The portraits on the wall don't mock me anymore. They remind me. My father hasn't spoken to me since. Last I heard, he's renting a small apartment, drowning in debt, surviving on scraps of the empire he thought was his. Do I pity him? No, because I remember the rain, the dirt on the coffin, and his voice dripping with disdain. You're useless now. He was wrong. I wasn't useless. I was patient, and patience built me an empire. Final line: justice didn't need my rage. It only needed my silence, and my father's greed did the rest.